With Irish Joe. It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. I would like to know your comfort level with Notre Dame's defensive staff overhaul and where you're at with all of this. That's it today. I very simply, very, very direct. I just want to know where you're at with all these changes and how quickly in a couple seasons, pretty much Notre Dame's entire defensive staff has rotated in and out, and you have good players and you have new staff, and it's a fascinating blend to me. It's really an interesting dynamic. So I want to go over some of the details with a couple of these new hires and ask you guys some questions about it and see where you're at. So that's going to be the theme for today. Thank you for being here. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps John as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar, always Irish rant, always Irish shake. Emails, always irishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it. If your idea of a good start to your day doesn't include looking at my dumb face, no one blames you. Go to audio only. Anywhere you get a podcast, you can find mine. Type it in, put it in the Google machine, do whatever you need to do. Notre Dame on SI, you can read all about it. Patreon.com/always Irish. I got to tell you, sometimes you don't expect something and it pleasantly surprises you. We're in the offseason. There's not a lot going on. Mike and I did the Raw on the Patreon behind the paywall last night at 2 hours, and it was awesome. Like a full 2 hours, robust, like a ton to cover, a lot of opinions, good interaction from the crowd, like really strong Raw. Link in the description if you want to join and get the full show, the full version, but particularly strong Raw effort last night. Okay, so that was awesome. And we're able to dig into a lot of this nuance with just the parts of this team you trust and you like, some of the unknowns, how it all blends together. The schedule next year should set up for a favorable start. There's a lot there. Tex ND. All right, I'll do this first. And Tex, let's just do it now. I am struggling with the Lou Holtz stuff. And let me explain exactly what I mean. By the way, if you guys want to join us, here is the link. Let me know your comfort level with staff, where you're at. Put the link. I just put the link in the chat. Here's why I'm struggling with this. My Twitter timeline is full of all this well-wishing, warm-hearted Lou Holtz stuff. My timeline is full of people cutting up the clips from all the speeches he gave and everything. We want to honor Lou Holtz. What a guy, what a coach, right? What a Notre Dame man. I totally get that, right? Because he's on all of our minds. We're at the point where every time I hear my phone vibrate for a text, I'm wondering if it's that message telling me we've lost Lou. Like, we're in that region. I do want to say this, though. As a guy whose mom spent 30 years working for a hospice care place in Illinois, you could be on hospice care for 5 years. You could be in hospice care for 5 minutes. So that I am in a weird, because I know how this hospice stuff works, there are certain medical things that have to be present in your chart to qualify for at-home hospice care. Meaning, like, if you have cancer, you're no longer fighting it. It's more like we're just waiting for nature to take its course, right? It's more for like, we've done everything we can. Now it's just about peace at the end for the patient and for the family, being at home, that kind of thing, right? Seriously. So when I hear losing hospice, that could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 years. And I am not acting like I know the exact details of Lou's medical chart. I'm just saying I'm struggling with this because I see all these things about what a great guy Lou was. It's like he's already dead. It's like he's already gone. And I'm struggling with that. I have some really good things planned for this to honor Lou. But I feel weird when I see it all on my timeline now because it's almost like the guys that we already counting him dead when he's not yet. But it's also not wrong for anybody at any time to put a video of Lou saying a bunch of motivational crap out for the people. So I personally am having a real battle with this because it's coming from a good place of people wanting to honor Lou's legacy. But I'm also like, he's not gone yet. So like, I'm kind of holding off on the eulogizing until it happens. There's not a right or wrong. And I am not saying anybody putting out that stuff is wrong. You're honoring Lou. I'm not against that. It just makes me feel weird. And I think a part of it is just that I understand the hospice world more than most people do from 30 years of my mom working in it. And me doing the cemetery stuff for a dozen years, that whole world was my world. The hospice transition into my place was my entire like existence. So I admit I'm struggling with this. And Jay Carr, you're exactly right. Celebrating somebody's life when he's still alive is a little weird, but most of it's coming from a good place. Absolutely. I am not saying, oh, these people are putting a video out there to get a bunch of clicks off Lou while he's laying there. I'm not saying that. It's coming from a genuine place. I just feel weird about it. That's all. It's all coming from a good-hearted Notre Dame place and love for Lou. I just, for whatever reason, I feel weird about it. And I just think it's the fact that I'm so familiar with the hospice thing. I know guys that went into hospice and they were in it for 5 years. I literally know people who signed up for hospice and 12 hours later, they're gone. So that doesn't mean that like it's a day away. You don't know unless you know the medical chart. This is really simple, you guys. Here's how hospice works. You have on your chart 0 to 10. 0 is you still have a long way to go. 10 is you will probably pass away any minute. And there is enough science and medicine now to measure with a bunch of different metrics where someone's at in that chart. Some people enter hospice at a 0. Some of them enter it at a 10. You don't know. You don't know. So I'm struggling with this personally. And I have kind of held off doing some of the eulogy stuff while I'm planning some of it and have ideas on what I want to do. And here's the other part. Maybe I'm just struggling with this and I don't want to deal with it till I have to deal with it. That could be a part of it too. That I'm struggling with it and I don't want to think about it and put all this stuff out till I have to. But I can't describe it any other way than I just feel awkward and weird when I see all these tributes to Lou on my timeline. Totally coming from a good place. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying anybody's a clickbait farmer. I am not doing it. It is coming from the Notre Dame heart of these people. And it's not wrong. It just makes me feel weird. So a lot of my stuff, I'm just kind of holding off on. But again, hospice could be 5 minutes or 5 years. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Without looking at the chart and knowing the 0 to 10 score, nobody knows. So that's where I'm at with this. But I have a lot of history with hospice, personally and professionally. Okay. So I don't know. It is, yeah, like Justin says, I saw somewhere Lou's family said he was actually improving. See, but if you're in hospice, improving in hospice means like you're more comfortable, you're not in pain, and maybe the runway till the end extends a little bit. It doesn't mean you're going to be healed and you're running around. So like, even when they say a guy's improving, yeah, within the framework of what hospice is, not overall medically, if that makes sense. Improving in this sense doesn't mean he's going to be running around. So it's a little weird for me because I have so much insight into this world. God, that's really funny. Where is it? Somebody just said something funny. Brian, this was actually an issue for me and my mom. God, I didn't expect this to turn into this today. This was actually an issue. I was not allowed at those cemeteries I was running. I was not allowed to promote my services. It was like some state violation. I wanted to get my cards, go to all the senior homes, the funeral homes, the hospice, give out my cards. When you have a family and they're here and they don't know what to do, call Johnny. I'll sell you a grave. Get you a fancy headstone, right? Get it all planned ahead. And my mother and I had to be careful. We were in the same region doing this. And I was not really allowed to communicate with her about certain patients coming over or whatever. It was very, very tricky. But it was weird. They wouldn't even let me promote. I just wanted to drop off my cards at a senior home, figuring a lot of those families maybe are confused and not know how to set something up for mom and dad, and they want to call. It was like, oh, John, that's a violation. You can't promote. I don't know why. I just wanted to be a resource. But it really was a challenge between my mom and I to not get in trouble with any paperwork or anything that overlapped. It was where they couldn't look like that hospice was funneling me business is what it had to be, like the family reaching out. It was weird. I don't know. I was slinging graves, bro. You don't even know. Outside of the Catholic churches on a Sunday, Johnny had put up a folding table. I would do discounts, offer, Q&A. I'd be waiting for the old people to come out of church, and I'm ready to go. I would have open houses where I'm showing everybody how everything works. It's a wild business, and I'm a weird dude. So in a way, it works. So anyways, you guys, I am just in a weird place with it because I don't know the time frame, and I am not okay eulogizing a guy that's still there. So there's no easy way to do it. It's all coming from a good place. I was the Slim Reaper back then, man. I was the Slim Reaper. Mark says, today's opening is the real pick-me-up that I needed. Pimp my hearse. So anyways, I could do a whole reality show about the death business and all the goofy things that happen. It's amazing. It's an amazing world. So I don't know. It is, it's weird. I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with it a lot. But everybody is coming from a good place, handling it however they think they can best. Okay, let's do a couple of these chats. $5 holler from the Rotate. Thank you very much. $20 holler from Tom Chris. What's up, John? How do you feel about the new defensive hires? Seem pretty solid. Looking forward to this spring tailgate. Any idea about the regular season game tailgate yet? We're almost to the point where I can announce what it's going to be. We're going to have 2 in-season tailgates this year. One of them is going to be another combo tailgate with the Notre Dame Alumni Club of Orange County. Okay. So we're going to do, Slip says, I get junk mail from the cremation societies and funeral homes all the time. The Neptune Society specializes in these quick turnaround cremations. You buy graves with me, that's where you're going to go, but you retire to Arizona, you die in Arizona. Somebody's got to figure out the logistics of how to get you from Arizona to your grave. That's the kind of stuff Neptune does. They have them all over the country. You could sign a contract with them, and wherever you pass away, they will handle all the logistics to get you from where you pass away safely and legally and respectfully to your final resting place. So, yeah, Neptune Society's interesting in that regard with the cremations. But we're going to have 2 tailgates. So one will be earlier in the year, good weather, my regular setup. The second one's going to be in conjunction with the Orange County Alumni Club. I'll just drop a little hint. That one may end up being for a big game. Nothing is final, but that Orange County one may end up being for a big game. I am not at the point where I could fully announce it, but that may be in the works. So to recap, blue and gold tailgate, you got it. Credit card, you got it. You got it. Early in the year, regular tailgate North Lot, you got it. Later in the year, Tex, we may have something big cooking for a big game later in the year with the Orange County Club. More on that later. Tom, Chris, I'm going to get into all this. And then I see a bunch of you guys want to join. I'm going to get you on real quick. Bobo, this is literally the worst story of all time. I'm sorry, man. It's a weird world when you work in the death game, man. You should have seen the looks people gave me. I would go to the post office, go to the funeral homes, pick up a bunch of urns that needed to go to the different cemeteries I ran, spread out all over. So I would have to run these errands to these different, like the post office or the funeral homes, pick up the urns, get them set up for a service at the grave at the cemetery or whatever. Bro, you should see me driving around in my car with 5 or 6 urns in the seat. Brother goes to Burger King or something in the drive-thru real quick. You should see the terrified looks on the workers when they look down in my car and they see a dude driving around town with 3 urns in the back seat and 2 in the front buckled in. They all thought I was a mega freak. Any word on the new grass at the stadium? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean they're uprooting the turf and re-putting new turf? The fake turf? The people I know at Notre Dame, there is this movement to get real grass again. It's never going to happen. I was explained by the grounds crew people the way they redid the stadium with Crossroads and the way they rebuilt it, they couldn't get the sun cycle they need to grow grass now anyways. It's over. Because they're not putting a wrecking ball to Adam Dowling's private suite. I can tell you that. Okay? So it ain't happening. That's over. But they told me the science wouldn't allow grass to grow with the sunshade cycles they need with the way the stadium's built. So that's over. That's over. So I don't know. Okay, so this is that. Yeah, nothing is over. I'm just telling you what the grounds guys told me. I don't know. They're doing blue turf like Boise State. I would boycott ever playing there just for how obnoxious that is. Oh, I get it. It's the same color as our jerseys. We can hide. I hate it. I would boycott playing there because of how obnoxious that field is. I believe there's a bright red one somewhere too. I couldn't tell you the team, but there's a red one that I don't like too. They did put in grass for soccer games, but that was temporary. Well, that's very different than having to grow it for football, and year round having to do all that upkeep. How about gold turf? That's a little bright. Eastern Washington has red turf. No wonder I didn't remember who it was. And then the other issue. Oh, somebody brought up urns. Here's the other thing. One of the biggest problems was people flying with urns. And the reason is because drug smugglers would often travel with an urn, and it isn't Granny's ashes, it's the yayo. And they would go in, oh, my mom died, she's in this urn, and the whole thing is full of that yayo. And it isn't Granny's ashes. So they started busting people with that. And then they have to open the urn and test it to make sure it's remains and not drugs. And I had so many families get pulled aside at the airport, and they're literally cracking open mom's urn and pulling the ashes out to test them in a tube and all this stuff. So, and when you know it's really your mom, even if you have the legal cremation record, they still test it, and it's very awkward. It's very awkward. So I had a lot of families that were like devastated watching TSA bust open the urn. I'm telling you guys, it's a really interesting world, and it's more complicated than you would understand. All the different stuff that goes into it, and legally and otherwise, right? So I don't know. It's a wild world. It is a wild world. And whenever you break into them, you'll find the little bolts from somebody's hip. That's the only thing you'll get is you'll find these little metal fragments from somebody's surgery, their robotic knee. You'll find the little metal hinges. I'm like, we got to sift that out. So, yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. Bruce said, John hates everything. There is a lot of things I have no patience for. You thinking you're cute, building an obnoxious field. Bruce, here's what it is. Here's what it is, Bruce. If you had that blue field, but your home jerseys were white or something, I wouldn't feel this way. It bothers me. I feel like they match the jerseys to the color of the turf to try and hide or be tricky. And when you're watching games, it all blends in. That's what bothers me. If you had the blue turf and your home jerseys are white, I wouldn't feel the same way. I feel like they're trying to be tricky or something and blend in, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay? Speaking of things I don't like, don't even get me started with Super Bowl parties. All the halftime show's going to do is divide the country even further. I have no interest in this Super Bowl at all. Zero. None. I don't care about the game. I don't care about the teams. And I'm not going on Twitter when the halftime thing happens because all it's going to do, right or wrong on either side, it's going to further the divide in this country between everybody. And that's not what football should be about. Also, Mark has a good point. Super Bowl commercials used to be good, but now nobody wants to be edgy because you're going to get the pushback. That's the thing. No one will be edgy now because they're afraid of the pushback. So I have no interest in this Super Bowl at all, other than at least it's football. That's it. At least it's football. But I have no interest in the game. I'm not having a big party. I'm just going to sit there and watch it. I don't care. I'm a college guy. I don't care about the NFL. Okay. So that's my deal. But I'm weird. Nobody has to think what I think. $5 from Mikey. What if ND's putting the new football logo on the new turf? Oh, Mikey. Don't even bring that up, Mikey. That's not even funny, dude. I love you, but that is not even funny. Don't even get me started. Again, you got to tell me. Has anything good happened since Notre Dame switched to that kids cartoon logo? Has anything really good happened? I don't like it. You're soft. I don't like the softening of our image. I like that leprechaun with a scowl on his face, ready to duke it out. Not some cartoon you would see on Saturday morning when you're 7. I don't like it at all. I don't approve of it. If you want to have a kid, I'll give you, okay, Johnny's flexible. Johnny's flexible. I'll make you a deal. If you went into that bookstore and they had a kids section and the kids section had a softer logo, totally fine with that. But I don't like seeing my man Marcus all beef and buff up there wearing this little kid's cartoon. I don't like it at all. We're going to have real trouble the day that I log in and see Notre Dame's doing away with the Fighting Irish thing because it's a bad look. This show might go away. I will not be able to handle it. Taking away our entire history of what we've been, I will not be able to handle it. So if that day comes, I'm going to have tough decisions to make. I don't know how I could sit here in good faith if you erased all of our history to soften it for the modern times. Are you outside your mind? Wasn't expecting this to start this way at all. Okay. Since I went on for a half hour, and by the way, that's why I love live shows. You never know where you're going to go. You never know where you're going to go on a live show, and I love it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to some of you guys that are waiting. We have some people that don't get to jump in a lot. I'm going to bring you guys up, and we'll see. Caden, that's not going to happen. Caden the man is backstage. It's just not going to happen, buddy. It's not going to happen. You're not coming on. I'm sorry, man. We're not doing it, Caden. I can't do it. So whether you call or you're here, you're out. I can't do it. I give people a lot of runway, not you. You're a habitual line stepper. I gave you chances. You can sit there if you want, but you ain't coming on, Caden. I'm not doing it. C-Nep, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, man. I'm doing good. First off, I like the backdrop. Fantastic.
Appreciate it.
I like
Appreciate
the shirt. Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Here's where I'm at, man. This defense, the coaching staff has pretty much fully flipped in a couple short years on all levels of the defense. And I want to know where people's comfort level is with it. What do you think of the new hires? Do you have confidence and comfort in Ash now? Or are you freaked out? We're going to have some issues again. Do you have comfort with him? I just want to know where you guys are at. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I really think Ash turned his style around and he figured out a lot after those first couple weeks. He obviously had to do a lot of self-evaluation. And, I'm sure there was some strong talks in those rooms in those times. So he really had to turn it around himself for, the team to put it in a spot to then make the playoffs, which we all know how that happened. But
do we? Yeah, okay. Here's what I don't know where we're at as a collective. are people figuring rough start, then Ash figured it out, whether Marcus got involved or whatever, it leveled out. And by the end of the year, Notre Dame was playing really high level, good physical, sound defense. Do we believe that's going to be the starting point of next year's defense? Or do we still have anxiety of like, is it going to take a few weeks to figure it out again? Like, I don't know. Where do we trust Ash now? And the hires, some of them have Ash connections. So, like, we're getting real ashy with the defense. Are we okay with that? That's my question. What do you think?
That's the toughest thing. We won't know until we see it. And we have, 238 days or whatever the number is. But that's the same questions we had going into last year. Was the defense going to look like it did when Al was running it? And unfortunately, it didn't in those first two games. But then we saw the switch pretty much that second half of the Purdue game. Like, we were at that game, we saw it with our own eyes. Like, something happened in that 20-minute halftime. Like, something changed. And I don't know what it was. Something was said. There was words said that obviously clicked a couple people, and things started turning around. But there is that anxiety, like you said, with the new coaching staff. You don't know until we see it, until we see the product on the field against another opponent, September 6th against Wisconsin. That's when we'll have a good idea. So
now I will say this. There's a few things that I like here that are in our advantage. Number one is the guys that have come in are all experienced guys. They have track records of developing talent, whether it's Partridge on the D line, the linebacker guy, the corner guy. They all have a track record of developing guys. It's not their first rodeo. Correct. That gives me some comfort. And also this, you are not starting at Miami at night, A&M at night, or whatever. You have a runway into the year here where you should not have to play near perfect to be able to win. So if there are things you got to figure out, you should be able to do it, have some mistakes, not play your tightest, and still win. I'm not being disrespectful to Wisconsin and all the beginning of our schedule. I'm just acknowledging it's not Miami or A&M to start. You should have some runway there. That gives me comfort.
100%. And you can go back and look at the past 3 to 5 years. We are starting on the road against a quality opponent. And you go and look at the other teams around the country, man, their first 3 games are just a joke. They say our schedule's bad, but they're playing like my high school down the street where I went to school. Like, it's comical.
There is conference cover. There are a lot of teams that have really weak schedules, like Notre Dame's getting ripped for. But if you're in a conference for some reason, it's just okay. Because it's like, well, it's a conference. Well, what about all the non-conference games where you're not playing anybody on purpose? But like, there is cover in being in a conference.
Yeah. Like, I looked up some SEC schedules just for the fun of it. And Tennessee's in their first 3 games, they play Furman and Kennesaw State in the first 3 games. It's like, how? Like, you're bashing Notre Dame for playing at least Power 4 teams, yet you're playing those teams. Week in and week out before you even get into your schedule, which I understand. I mean, it's one thing to play those teams, but you're giving yourself leeway going into the rest of the season by just warming up your team. It's like a preseason game for them. They're obviously not going to lose to a team like that. But, I mean, again, look at Notre Dame and who we've played the first game for years now. Traveling to Ohio State, traveling to Miami, traveling to Texas A&M. Nope. Nobody talks about that, though.
Yeah, it's so I don't know. I just it occurred to me. I told Mike Goolsby this last night. I'm like, man, if you really think about it, we turn really ashy real quick. And it kind of snuck up on me just how ashy we got. Yeah. And I'm hoping we go from ashy to classy and it all works out. And it all blends, but like, you don't know till you see it. It's just It's really interesting. And so, hey, good morning to my dad, by the way. Hope you're by the pool in Florida there, not freezing here. Good for him in Florida, man.
It's warming up a little bit here.
Yeah, I know it was a little cold. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. But there's some really good things to like on all these guys' resumes from
Mhm.
all the new guys. So I'm hopeful it all comes together pretty smoothly. I don't know, but you got to
Yeah,
wait
and
for
you
sure.
like you said, like you mentioned, with their backgrounds, they have to have definitely some sort of cohesion with each other already. So, they already have, relationships built with each other. Instead of doing that this whole off season and doing all that behind the scenes stuff, that should already be, you know, a collective thing. And, again, it's a wait and see thing. That's what is tough about it. We have to wait and see it, but we just have to trust the process and know that Freeman is doing what he can to, get this roster to be, championship ready. So,
Yeah, it's
and that's my biggest key for this whole season is being ready when that ball's kicked off September 6th. That's when
yeah.
we need to be firing on all cylinders. But there's no time to waste.
I wrote about this morning, how Notre Dame's schedule provides this window in the beginning to gain momentum, not have to play perfect, still be able to win while you're working on things,
Right.
gelling, whatever you want to say. But the final paragraph of it was what could go wrong.
Hmm.
If you're going to have one of these schedules that's considered softer, if you trip up against a team you were expected to beat and then lose to Miami, you're 10-2 and you're missing the playoff again. Like
Yep.
life could come at you that fast.
Yeah.
You can't have this schedule and lose to BYU on the road and Miami at home. Guess what? Two toughest games. You lost them both. You're 10-2. You might have to accept the Pop-Tarts Bowl this time.
Yeah.
So there's an advantage in this if you handle it right, but it can blow up on you if you don't. So that is a double-edged sword with the schedule.
It's tough. It's tough. That's why we need Freeman to start it out this year quick. And he's been the way past couple years I've went, he's got the cylinders going towards the end of the year. Like the team is playing well towards the end of the year, but he needs to get the September dialed in.
Yeah.
And just onward to Notre Dame. Just gosh, man, you got to trust the staff, but so many variables, man. As always Notre Dame, huh?
Yep, it's always something. But you should be able to get off to a really, really good start.
Yep.
Anything else on your mind, my friend? Thanks for joining this morning.
Well, I really wanted to start out the show with just sending prayers to Lou Holtz, but we just got wrapped up in the show real quick. But just sending out prayers to him and the family. I haven't been able to meet him personally, but my brother did. He did a golf internship, and went to Lake Nona, the golf course there, and was able to meet him at an event. So just cool that one of my brother met Lou personally. So shout out to them, and we're sending our prayers to him.
Yep, absolutely. And it's got to be a tough thing for the family too. It's hard enough to go through this for any family, but you have thousands of well-wishers reaching out and everybody cares, but it's a little bit overwhelming and you
Correct.
kind of need privacy for this and you can't get back to everyone who reaches out worrying about dad. It's got to be kind of a tough dynamic right now for Skip and just everybody. And it's just not easy to navigate. There's no right way to do it.
It's just that's the world that we're in. It's just unfortunate. But again, the true ones keep it real and keep the positivity with their family and thoughts with them. But yeah, just thanks again for your show, and thank you for you, John. What you do for the community, and looking forward to the tailgates, and it's going to be a great year.
Oh man, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for the blue and gold just to see everybody again. We all need to be together after a rough end of the year. I can't
Couple
wait.
of these.
Oh, couple of those coming up, man. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Have a good day. Okay.
Appreciate you guys. Go Irish.
Have a good one. What a nice guy. Okay. I gotta say, I gotta give Caden a lot of credit. I came on here, rejected him wanting to come on the show, told him it wasn't going to happen, and he donates $5, even though he spelled Notre Dame wrong. Like, I genuinely respect a guy where I'm like, nope, you're not coming on my show, and he gives me $5. If he keeps that up, I might have to give him another shot, but with a quick hook. Okay. Bruce, what's going on, buddy?
John, what's going on, man? Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my friend. I am. What's on your list of the things I'm mad about that I shouldn't be today, Bruce?
No. Not that you shouldn't be. It's just funny that you're one of those guys that's irritated by everything, which makes me really miss the always annoyed segment.
You know what? I think those are going to come back, but it might be a Patreon thing because people are asking. And I'll be honest, I got an expanded list just waiting to pop off,
sure.
Bro.
Yeah. My wife is not even really a sports fan. One day I'm listening to your show in the car. We're going somewhere, and she is cracking up listening to Always Annoyed. Like, we're in the car dying. I'm almost crashing us because I'm laughing so hard. Like, it was we were going to the post office, and it was the one where you were talking about the crypt keeper lady, lady with the crypt keeper head, the old lady. I was so weak. That was good.
Yeah, it's listen, man. I just, the older I get, the less patience I have for a lot of things, man.
That's funny. That's fun. I'm the opposite. The older I get, like, the more patience I'm having. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, that kind of makes sense because look at you and look at me. Like you're just a lot more stable and calm, and I'm all high strung. You're probably gonna live a lot longer than me. Bruce, what do you make of this Notre Dame stuff with the new staff, the new hires? Do you like them? Do you have comfort and confidence in Ash, or where are you at?
A lot of stuff, John. A lot of stuff. I am. And I think I heard you talk about this on one of your shows, what we're doing in terms of the coaching staff, both going out and coming in, the NFL rating Coach Freeman's staff, Coach Freeman being able to get quality guys to replace speaks volumes to the culture that he has created around Notre Dame football. In my Notre Dame life, which spans back to 93, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. And it's really impressive, and it shows what the players are doing on the field, what the coaches in the program are doing to develop said players, the leadership that Coach Freeman is giving at the top of the football operation, and then of course the support that they're getting from the quote unquote front office, right? I'm using an NFL term there, but I think all of that is super impressive. The only thing left to be done now is to win it all on the field, but it really is a good look in terms of what Coach Freeman has built there and what's going on in South Bend. And it just goes to show, again, idiots like Cam Newton spouting their nonsense all over the TV and the internet. So, I think it's fantastic what we're seeing.
Yeah. And then you're a big schedule guy, and the SEC and all that. There's some really weak schedules for teams in conferences, Bruce. You don't hear nothing about it. They have conference cover that Notre Dame's never going to have as a partial independent.
Yeah. I talked about that too. And, part of my thing is, and you're less this way, you'll do it, but you're less directly aggressive about it in terms of specific networks and specific people in the mainstream media. I'll call those names out because that's just how I do. And it drives me absolutely insane. And I'm big on taking a clip, a segment, and breaking it down line by line and debunking every lie. Like, that's how I do mine. So with that, I'll say that's one of the things that I attacked, this narrative of Notre Dame getting a conference. And I'm like, why? There was only one team in the entire ACC last year with a greater strength of schedule than Notre Dame had. So what's the point of getting in a conference? It's not like you're playing better competition week in, week out. Just because you're in a conference, as you just said, John, doesn't mean that you're going to be playing good teams all the time. Ohio State played 3 good teams last year. They lost to 2 of them.
Yeah.
And so, I don't understand this. Like, it's what it is. It's just a false narrative. Another thing that people who don't like Notre Dame can use to try and attack it. And if we're being honest, and I know you always are, it comes down to the money. People don't like that Notre Dame is doing it their own way, getting their own money. Doesn't have to share it. They want a piece. I was listening to Mr. CeeLo from the Talk Like a Champion podcast, and he said something interesting. I think the commissioner of the ACC said that, according to him, 23% of games in the ACC sell out. That's butts in seats in stadiums. When Notre Dame plays those teams, it's 90%. Like, there's no arguing the relevance. There's no arguing what Notre Dame brings. And this is why people are so desperate to have them in a conference. So it's all nonsense. It's noise. But I have a great time tearing it apart when I get on my platform. So
yeah, and here's the other part of it. When people like, I see on Twitter people pulling other team schedules that are very, very weak, and like, why is they just yelling about Notre Dame? There is a
Notre Dame.
Right. And there is a perception that because of the independence, that Notre Dame literally just handpicks the weakest teams to schedule 2 weeks before the season.
Right.
Let me find the weakest team. That is a narrative that conference teams don't deal with, even if they're non-conference schedules, high schools. They do not have to deal with it. But there is a lack of understanding that the majority of Notre Dame's games are on the schedule many, many years before the game is played. There's no way to know if Wisconsin's up and down or Michigan State's going to be up or down. You don't know.
Right.
That's a part of it too. So
no, it drives me crazy. Last year, Alabama played Wisconsin. Did you hear anyone downing Alabama for playing Wisconsin or talking about how bad Wisconsin was when Bama played them? But I bet you're hearing how Wisconsin's no good because Notre Dame opens with them at Lambeau. I know I am. Yeah. And I talked about that. I've talked about that numerous times. I broke down this schedule thing last night on another live that I did, dismantling Cam Newton's latest nonsense. It's insane, but it's just that it's Notre Dame. At the end of the day, it's Notre Dame, and people hate that Notre Dame is doing it their own way, as if they didn't build that up over the course of 100 years. Okay, and to your point, real quick, with the scheduling piece, the average schedule is built out 3 to 7 years in advance. To your point, how can we know? You try to schedule the good teams, but how can you know whether they're going to be good or not that far down the road?
Yeah, it's just, it's a Notre Dame thing, and it's just the way it is, and it's the perception and what and here's the other thing. I don't know if this is fair or not, Bruce. You're a very fair guy. You're one of the most pragmatic, fair thinkers I know. Okay,
try to be.
You are a lot more than me, right? Like but I admit it. I'm self-aware, at least, with a lot of my biases.
Okay.
The ACC has a lot to do with the perception that Notre Dame has a weak schedule because they only have one team that moves the needle at all. Now, we lost to them, and that's our fault. But the ACC contract we have doesn't help at all. I think it hurt Notre Dame the back half of last year's schedule. Bro, I'm relying on Pitt to impress people. There was no other games that moved the needle the whole back half of the schedule. If the ACC had some better teams, it would help this whole project too. They're failing on their part of the deal.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though, John? I found this out very recently. People actually believe that Notre Dame tells the ACC which 5 teams they're going to play every year.
It's insane. Not how it works.
I know that. You know that. Our intelligent listeners that are in this chat know that. Most people outside of, well, I can't even say because Notre Dame somewhere alumni.
But if it was, then it would be Miami, Florida State, and Clemson every single year.
Right.
Would be 3 because they're the 3 big brands in the conference. If that's what we did, that's what it would be.
Yeah. But see, that ruins the narrative, John. That ruins the narrative. The narrative is, as you said, we pick 2 weeks before each game. We pick the 12 worst teams that we can play every year so we can have an easy path to the – and I was thinking about this as well. Let's say Notre Dame finally lives up to its ability, its talent, and what we believe is its birthright and wins the national championship next year. Do you know what they are going to say? And you know who they are. They are going to say, well, of course, they had the guaranteed spot to get in. Of course, they played a weak schedule. So if you play a weak schedule and you get in the tournament, doesn't that mean you should be exposed?
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah.
None of this stuff adds up, John.
Really good point too. Yeah, it's a really, really good point. So the answer to all this is to just kick the crap out of everybody and make everybody mad and just keep winning football games. That's the only way out of this. You're never going to change minds. You're never going to change perception or biases. Evidence isn't going to matter. Stats aren't going to matter. There's a lot of people that wake up every day bound and determined to hate Notre Dame more than they did the day before. You're never going to change those opinions. You got to just win anyways. Block out the noise. Just keep winning.
Right. Before I get out of here, a couple quick notes. One, You mentioned earlier that you would go nuts if Notre Dame ever decided down the road to change away from the Fighting Irish. And the reason I think that's never going to happen, John, if there's any other reason, is Notre Dame versus the Klan. Like, I think that alone, that, especially for me, black man, that is the most admirable thing and the most admirable reason to hold on to that name because of what they did, how they did it.
Yep.
There's nothing better. So I don't think we ever have to worry because of that about Notre Dame changing away from that
really good point. And speaking of that, I am in the early stages of trying to put together a larger scale project highlighting the Notre Dame versus the Klan story.
Right.
And it's in the early stages, but I am trying to come up with something bigger than just on my YouTube channel, something bigger and broader covering that story. And I'm working on that. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get what I need and whatever, but I want to try and go out of my way to highlight that more. And that's in the works.
Nice. Yeah, that's big. I don't think you ever have to worry about that. And last thing before I go, John, I heard you say earlier talking about the Super Bowl, and I've heard you say it before, but I don't think I ever asked you why. You say you're not an NFL guy, which is weird to me because you're not in some, bum crap little town. You're in an original NFL city with a team that has NFL history, one of the ones, right? It's almost like being in Detroit and not liking hockey, right? It's one of those things, original six type thing. So I was curious, like, why is it that you're not an NFL fan? Because, I cover everything.
Fair question. I do not have any room in the tank to worry or care or emote about any football other than Notre Dame.
Fair enough.
Bruce, I mean it. I do not have any room in that tank to go through what we go through on a Saturday and redo it when I wake up on a Sunday? Are you kidding me?
Well,
I do not have it in me. And Bruce, it's very healthy because everything's Bears, the radio Bears, everything, everything's Bears. I get to watch it and observe it, but just for the sake of it's football. But it's not emotionally tearing at me when the Bears lose. It didn't mean anything to me when they lost in the playoffs. I do not have any room in the tank for any of that emotion with football other than on Saturdays. I don't have it in me, and I'd be dead if I did.
That's interesting. I'm a big Ravens fan, and I love them, but Notre Dame is like here, and the Ravens are here. So if something happens with the Ravens, yay, I'm happy. Oh, I'm sad. But it's just levels for me. Notre Dame is obviously number one. So I feel it more, but that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't have it in me to have any of that emotion. I'm drained after every Saturday, good or bad. I don't have it in me to care on Sundays too. Yeah. I just don't. And Bruce, some of it's family. I grew up in a Notre Dame world where that was everything, and the whole family and the whole thing was Notre Dame. And there are people that like the Bears, but it isn't a religion, literally, in the way Notre Dame is. And so part of it's how you're raised. I know a lot of double dippers, but for me personally, I would already be deceased, and I would have needed to sell myself my own grave if I operated that way. Too many Saturday, Sunday double nut kicks, Bruce. Who can handle that?
I got you, John. I got you.
I love you, Bruce. I love you, Bruce. Go to the Format Podcast. Bruce Hope, you're one of the nicest guys in the world. And every time you come on, I give you credit for this. The most respectful young son I've ever interacted with in my entire life is yours. You do a good job parenting. The most respectful young man I've ever met of a kid that age. I mean it, and he's going to go far in life with that way of operating, and it's due to you and your family, and you do a great job, Bruce.
Hey, we appreciate that, John. Thanks so much, man. Go Irish.
Have a good one, buddy. I wouldn't just say that about anybody. I'm telling you, Bruce's kid comes up to me at the tailgate, shakes my hand. It's so great to meet you, Mr. Kennedy. Just the most respectful young kid I've ever met. SPF, you're kind of proving my point. Openers are the toughest game of the year. That's no gimme. Talking about Wisconsin. You're proving my point. I always talk about week 1 variance. Always. I created the term. I haven't heard anybody else say it. I talk about it every summer. Week 1 variance. You may think you know what you have. You do not really know till it's live that first game. You may think you know, but you don't know till you get in that first game. It's week 1 variance. Weird things happen in week 1 that don't happen later in the year because it's week 1. You're proving my point. That's why I would rather it be against Wisconsin than A&M or Miami, where the margin of victory can be widened because it gives you leeway to make some mistakes and still win. So you're proving my point. Yes, there's week 1 variance. That's why if you play a team with less talent than you, you have more runway to not be perfect and work out the kinks and have Carson Hobbs out there running in circles and still be able to win. You're proving my point. Son of a buck. Look at this. Liam, if you're going to start doing this, I'm almost going to require that it becomes every time you join, you need a new name. Look at Liam's name today. Patty O Furniture.
Hi, John. How are you? There's nothing like Irish jokes to get the day off. How are you?
Patty O Furniture is very creative. I like that. What's going on? Ooh, that beard's looking good, buddy.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I feel terrible, man. I miss Monday's show. Daughter's sick, that whole thing. It throws off my whole week. I feel like I forgot to do something important. I hate missing a Monday, so I'm glad to be back. What's on your mind?
I have to be quick today because I have to hustle back to work, but I don't want you to think that when you miss the Mondays that Renee and I don't talk behind your back. I want to let you know that we do.
Good.
We also scream at the wind Monday mornings whenever you're not available. And we made up the rumor that you're unionizing and you took Monday off.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the basement union I'm in here, the YouTuber union.
Right. Hey, I think you have to either take one of two hardline stances. Either you trust Marcus Freeman and you're going to give his hires the benefit of the doubt, or you still haven't fully bought in yet and you miss Al Golden. But I think that there is a fair amount of resume and proof that Freeman, if someone is being ineffective, he's not going to let them hang around for a long time. If you look at the previous regime, it looks like Brian Kelly might have been a little bit too buddy-buddy with the assistant coaches, and he let several of them who were found to be ineffective hang out a little bit too long.
Yeah, it's, and that's one of the options I had in my notes is maybe you're just at the point where you trust Freeman and who he's bringing around here and why. The one thing is, man, Notre Dame's got a lot of talent. And like the best coaches that are looking to do something should be really interested in joining Notre Dame. There's a lot to like on these resumes at all. The hires you made at all 3 levels of this defense, there's a lot to like. And I expect it to go fine. I would be surprised if it doesn't.
You're right. I mean, it goes back to the old adage. Is it the X's and O's or is it the Jimmys and Joes? And this year we got plenty of Jimmys and Joes, right? There was a stat that came out with the number of returners and the snap count, and it was incredible.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing. You've had all this staff turnover, but you're not losing like the great players. Like it's not like players are going to transfer or whatever, and then when you have a new step, it's just kind of weird because you've retained almost all of your eye-level talent other than the NFL guys. But I'm not counting that. I'm talking about guys that are like, oh, I'm going to go play at another college. We're not losing our best guys to that. So you have these new staff guys in here, but a ton of talent to work with. It's great.
I think I'm going to leave you with this, John, because I do have to run back. But I think it's finally time where, from a year-to-year basis, we can maybe slow down the number of things that we have anxieties over. And I think a lot of us still reflect back on those scar tissue years that you referred to often. And with Marcus Freeman, as long as he's here, we should try and grow out of that.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, man. I always queue up them chili peppers, man. All right, get to your meeting. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya later. God, I love that guy. Dude, that is a world-class beard. Like, the dude is in a ZZ Top cover band over here, bro. Renee, I'm over here building America, and you're in your basement. What are you sitting with Jack Swarbrick? He also didn't like me sitting in my basement. Why don't you back off? Why don't you back off, okay? Give me a break. Eric, what's going on? Good morning, man. Welcome. Do I got you? Unmute. See if there's an unmute. Should be an audio button there somewhere. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do this.
I can't understand you.
Eric, see if you could hit the unmute, man. Try it again. Try it again, buddy. You got to hit the unmute. You got to hit it. Todd, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. Listen, how's your daughter doing?
She's fine. You know what, Todd? Over dramatic like her dad. That's what I think is going on. Over dramatic like her dad. And I have to take full blame. Like, I don't think I could go to school, like it's so I think she's over dramatic.
So a female would be a drama queen. So you're a drama king?
I'm not gonna crown myself. Like drama joker, more like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah.
But the problem, Todd, is here's the issue. My parents and my wife's mom are the child care. Like, when we have something to do, they're all in Florida all winter. So the wife's at the hospital and can't get out of that. So then if I'm working from home and they're all in Florida, that's how I end up not being able to do it. So God bless them all for retirement, be in Florida. I don't blame them, but that's kind of the situation we're in now till spring.
Well, think of the irony of that. Your wife works at the hospital, but you got to take the day off to take your daughter basically to like a hospital medical center.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. But she's doing surgeries and that's more important. So whatever. It's all good.
That's like my little sister. She's a nurse anesthetist. So yeah, she knows. But anyways, you were asking about the coaches. Yeah. Now, I only listened to one other site, and it more or less it's an informative site, and it's the Lockdown Irish thing, right? He went in depth on these two coaches coming, and he came up with something really good. And it was like, why would a defensive coordinator leave a school that he's improved the defense with in the Big Ten to come to take an assistant's job at Notre Dame?
Yep.
And the answer would be because they see that as the surest pathway right now to the NFL. They know being an assistant at Notre Dame is going to carry more weight right now than the other places.
Todd, that's one of the most interesting things. You went from being a Big Ten on your own DC to come to Notre Dame to be the corner coach. The co-DC, did you see co-DC is listed with this? Right. I think all that is a qualifier for a higher salary bar if you have one of those labels attached. So I think that's what that is, to unlock a different salary level. But that stood out to me too. You went for being the standalone DC at a Big Ten program who's won 19 games in 2 years, best 2 year stretch they've ever had. And you're going here. Doesn't seem like a promotion. What do you make of that? The NFL like angling for that?
Well, there's got to be, Marcus has a way of getting people there. I really believe this, that he feels can contribute to the program. And maybe they're looking for something different. Maybe they're looking for NFL. We don't know that. But he did work with Ash. And he worked with Ash. And the linebackers coach the comment made on what I watched, he said he's been coaching linebackers longer than these kids are old. And he's had linebackers that have gone to the pros, sent a few, I believe, from, I don't know if they said he worked at Cincinnati, but anyways, he wants his linebackers to play fast and downhill. And that's what you need. As linebackers, they led the conference. I think there was something about they led the conference, Michigan, whatever, in tackles, whatever the deal was. But both of these guys, to me, one, Washington really wasn't a linebackers coach. So you've upgraded there. And now you got a guy that was a DC and understands the schemes, and he's going to work specific with these kids. And he worked with Ash before. So those are all positives. And the D line coach has got nothing but high praises from everybody I can see. I mean, even on the other sites. Although my friend, the pimp, Cam Newton, I mean, that guy is just, back in the day, if we seen a guy like that, and this is back in the day before you were born, right? Late 60s, early 70s, he'd be tripping. He'd be tripping, man. I don't know where he's at, but he's in his own little world somewhere.
He is. And they just keep putting him on TV. Say whatever you're going to say and wear a fancy hat.
As long as people watch it to see how stupid he is, at least they got people watching, right? And the commercial people are more important about that. Commercials run everything. I mean,
he dresses like you would see.
He's a pimp.
He dresses like they would put together the costume for a guy playing a pimp in a movie. You know what I mean? It's like central casting of like a Harlem pimp in his 70s or something in a movie.
Oh,
I don't
know.
Yeah. But if he didn't say stupid things against Notre Dame, I wouldn't have a problem.
Did you ever see the Seinfeld episode where Kramer got the coat and he had the hat and they thought that's what he was doing?
Yeah, I don't know. So whatever. But let me ask this, Todd. Where is your comfort level with Ash? Do you feel confident that the defense is going to start where it left off last year? Or do you have any fear we're going to be in a similar thing, figuring our way through things for a couple games or whatever? Where's your comfort level and trust in Ash?
Well, you put it that way, it just made me think of something. Freeman thinks ahead. He thinks outside the box. Per evidence of how the great coach, Kirby Smart, the dogs, right? How he outfoxed them on the deal for the yardage where he took the whole team off, and Kirby said, you can't do that. Yep. There's nothing in the rule says you can't. All it says is you can substitute. You got 11. That's all you need on the field.
Yeah.
And he outfoxed the great Kirby dogs coach, right? And so he thinks outside the box. Now, what's to say he didn't get a guy that's been a defensive coordinator in case something falls apart? We don't know that. We don't know how he thinks, right? And to add that stuff to it. But I think Ash learned a lot last year. I think the players probably talked to him about things that they did under Golden. I mean, they're going to talk. They're going to say things. This is how we played. You want us to change this or this? And let's hope Ash learned. Let's hope that they're studying in the offseason to see who they have and where they can put them. But I'm really excited about the defensive coaches they picked up. And then that leads me to the concern with Denbrock, because I'm telling you, that guy's got to be on his game this year to take advantage of what we have on offense. Notice everybody's talking about the defense because the assistants left, but nobody's talking about the offense. And you got to play complementary football, And
Todd,
that offense,
with the offense, here's my big question. Now that you lost that engine of Price and Love, and your quarterback his strength is throwing the ball, and you've done a lot to bolster the wide receiver position. My question is this offense going to be a little more like pass to set up the run? Or is it going to be pretty much where we've been, or without Price and Love and knowing Carr is a pass first guy and Denbrock likes to throw it? Is that where you go? Is this more catering to CJ Carr's skill set and comfort to set up the run? Or is it like you lost Love and Price, we're still Notre Dame and we want to run as our DNA? I'm wondering what that approach is going to look like.
Well, you got to run, but you also have to realize that you can't put a square peg in a round hole. So you have to take what you have on offense and adjust it to what the skill set is of the people around you. Yeah. I don't have a problem with Aeneas Williams running the ball. I think some of the younger kids are faster than him. So I think you might see, maybe like a West Coast offense. I mean, San Francisco ran that for years, and they used the running backs to set things up. And I don't know, Denbrock, I think, has a lot he can work with this year, because people are going to know, they're going to say, well, they're not going to rely heavily on the run because they lost them. No, that's not true. It's going to all be generated by what your offensive line can do. If they can open holes, they'll run. And I hope Denbrock is the kind of person that kind of thinks ahead a little bit. Oh, we're going to run. And when they least expect it, then throw the pass. Or maybe you're passing. I think this year, maybe we'll see more draw plays because we're not run heavy. So they don't. I'm hoping we put the other team's defense in a position where they don't know what we're going to do. Yeah. Because last year we relied heavily on the run. We know that because of who we had. I was kind of disappointed last year because I wanted to see both Love and Price in the backfield at the same time, or some way to run them, because they both can take it to the house. And so I'm hoping this year that he goes more of because we know Carr's not a great runner unless he's been working on things and sprinting and doing stuff to improve. He's not the runner that Daniels was that Denbrock had at LSU. We know that. Yeah. But he's got to take advantage of what Carr can do. Do we want to throw intermediate? Do we want to swing it out to the backs? I mean, like I said, it'll be interesting to see what he runs as an offense this year, because receivers and backs learn the plays and they know where they got to go. But the quarterback's the one that has to pull the trigger. Does he feel comfortable pulling the trigger in the offense Denbrock's going to give him? How much? Right.
If that offensive line could just stay more in one piece, man, that would go a long way. You were playing with the whole interior of your O-line was backups for a lot of last year. Like, that's tough. If that group could just be healthy, forget like how great they could be. If you could just get them a little more healthy, it would go a long way to helping everything you're talking about, throwing it or running it.
Right. So how much leeway are they going to give CJ in audible and at the line? How good is he at reading the defenses? Is Denbrock going to let him do that? Is he going to give him if he's that smart, he could give him two plays at the same time. So he has one he's calling and one he could audible to, depending. We don't know that. We don't know that. That only comes, they can do that in closed practices, of course, because they're going to run against the ones and do that at sometimes. But I wanted to change course here a little bit. I was thinking about, why are these kids coming to Notre Dame? What's changed since Freeman came and Kelly couldn't do it? And this might be a place where people might not want to go, but I'm going there because I think here's the situation. Right now, 40% of the kids in the incoming class at Stanford have to take English and reading. 40%. It's Stanford. Harvard has to have a math and a English course for incoming freshmen because they don't understand. I'm like, what the heck? This is nuts. What are they getting taught, before they get there? Parents are realizing that, and talking to their kids, look, one bad break and you might not ever play again. But if you got this education, hey, that's something to lean on. And that's one of the things that's changed. I think, why do you have NFL people come in there, people that know this can happen? And like the Bus's kid, why is he going there? Why do you have this? Because they know that education is important because they've been out in the real world.
This, Todd. I have a very strong position on this. Here's what I think is happening. I am confident in this. Most of my life, it wasn't cool to be a football player and go to Notre Dame. you would go to those camps and the other guys, where are you
Right.
going? Notre Dame. Oh, why do you want to go there? Like, you know what I mean? It's lame. I believe now that these guys see the money involved, they are like their own brand, even in high school with an agent, with the logo.
Right.
They're creating their branding. I believe the whole thing is flipped. They are business savvy now, and they are understanding Notre Dame gives you the whole package. Good education, good education, competitive football, NFL, the Notre Dame network. They're looking at the big picture as like entrepreneurs of their individual brand now. Notre Dame checks all of those boxes. And I think these kids are wisening up, and it's becoming like a little bit of a flex to go to Notre Dame because it opens up all those business avenues. When 20 years ago, you got made fun of for picking Notre Dame because it was lame. I think they are genuinely seeing all the avenues in life this could provide. I think it's a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Here a few years back, that one kid could have got drafted as a DB, but he took the job out in Seattle starting at 125 Ks a year. I mean, come on. He says, why do I want to go there, and maybe not make it? I got a sure thing right here. So those kids see that. They see that you could get hurt in college. What do you got to fall back on? And how many of the other schools make you go to class, right? Notre Dame, you have to go to class. The only thing I'm disappointed in is just recently, I don't know if it was yesterday or if it was Monday, but they hired this new lady at Notre Dame and I mean, she goes against a lot of the Catholic things. She believes in abortion. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute. I mean, this isn't the culture at Notre Dame. This is not what they believe. This is a Catholic institution that has some strong values. I'm thinking, what's this lady talking about? So I don't know. You might want to look at that on your own and some of the people listening in. But yeah, I was like, who hired her and approved
Todd,
her?
Let me answer that very directly. I'm very aware. I've looked at it. I understand it, and I'm not touching it here. Do you get where I'm going?
You know where I'm coming from, right?
I'm very aware, and I've been hearing from a lot of people that are very aware, but I ain't touching it here. It's a bad business.
Yeah, because I looked at it like that. Where would we be if that was the mindset back when Mary was impregnated? Where would we be, right? I mean, and that's not one of the values. And I'm thinking, I wonder how long it's going to be before they say, hit the road, Jackie, hit the road. Yeah, but anyways, so I'm excited. I'm excited about the new D coordinators. I want to see how they're going to adjust to all of this. And you got to remember, Freeman is a defensive coach. So he understands who he's hiring, talks to him about the schemes, the whole deal. And I'm going to end it with this. You weren't on Monday, and that wasn't really a disappointment to me because I was on the road doing the power of attorney thing, and I couldn't listen. And I got home and I thought, I got to check in with this. It was a little later after dinner and I had a few minutes, and you put the thing out. And I've been saying this for a long time. Trust Freeman. He knows what he's doing. The guy's got a smart head on his shoulders. We just have to trust him. Hey, look it. He did something that Kelly said never could be done. Sure. I can't do this. I can't do it. I don't have the resources. They won't flex for me. They won't bend so I can do this. Freeman says, I'll come in and work with what I got. Let's see what I can do.
Yep.
Bingo. Yep. So we have Brian Kelly to thank for getting him here. That's the one thing good maybe he did.
True. And Mickens too. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, and what else does this tell you? I mean, people still rave about it. I hear, what's his name from Ohio State that does the ABC games. He was the quarterback there. You know who I mean? The announcer when he announces a game. Gosh, why can I not think of his name? He has the dog all the time with him.
Oh,
but anyways,
Kirk.
Pardon? Yeah, Kirk Herbstreit. Yeah. He still marvels at the fact of how those kids reacted in the locker room with Freeman becoming the coach. Yeah. He still says, I've never seen anything like this. He goes, this is like a first. It's like an anomaly. He says, I've never seen people flock to him like that. So that tells you the kids were comfortable with him. And the kids knew he knew his stuff because they've been, they're recruited by other schools and stuff. So just stay confident that Freeman knows what he's doing, and he's just got to get everybody on board as far as coaches, and that they do. Yeah, I mean, you don't know what you have on that first game. You have no idea. And that we stay injury-free across the board.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. A Notre Dame team entering the season fairly healthy. That would be a new revelation. Todd, I love it, buddy. I love it, man.
There's a story that I heard back in the day when Notre Dame went to play Michigan State and Duffy Doherty, right? The 2 undefeateds, ends in the 10-10 tie. But the star running back, Nick Eddy, didn't play in the game. And I was a big Nick Eddy fan, man. 47, wanted to be Nick Eddy when we played on the field, the whole deal, right? Because the guy could run. Well, and a strange mixture. He was Mexican-Irish, I believe. And that was his nationality. And this guy could run. I mean, he was shifty, everything. Well, a lot of people from around here would go to the Notre Dame games, and big interest in Notre Dame. I mean, that was the thing that was broadcast on the radio around here in Western New York. We heard the reason he couldn't play in the game, because they said he was injured. We heard when he was getting off the train, right? Getting off the train, one of the players goosed him. He slipped and fell down the steel steps and hurt himself, and he couldn't play. That's what the rumor was. So that was that was in 66. So that was a while ago. You weren't have thought yet, John.
We'll see, man.
But
was
the thing. One of the players goosed him. He slipped and fell down and hit those steel steps and couldn't play.
It isn't quite Buckner and the dorm stairs before blue and gold. But I will never forget that one.
Speaking of, you were talking about the field, and I go, what if they did did 5 yards, right? How they have the stadiums, they have them set up, right? What are they, 5s or 10s, however they do it, 10s. They did like one stripe of gold, one stripe of blue, one stripe of gold, one stripe of blue, and then ran a checkerboard like Tennessee of blue and gold in the end zone. Oh, please spare me. Don't do that.
Yeah. Todd, I love it, man. Hey, thanks for checking in today, brother.
Yeah, thanks. You too. Stay warm and stay safe.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thanks a lot, Todd. John, have you had another fella goose you? I don't want to know. I don't think so, but I need to know what that means exactly before I say yes or no. Love the Irish. All right. Here's the thing. You got to hang with me on this one. Hang with me. Be sly. Hang with me on this one. Let's not underestimate the value of what Aeneas Williams will bring as a full-time starter. How could you know what that value is? Like, this is a genuine question. Let's not underestimate the value of what Aeneas Williams will bring as a full-time starter. How do you know what value he's going to bring as a full-time starter? I am not taking what I've seen from him in his role so far and extrapolating that into being the number one lead back and you're going to have all this production. I'm not doing that. I got to see it to believe it. Now, let's be very clear. I'm not saying he won't do that. He won't turn into that. He can't be that. But there is no way that I'm entering this season like, oh, I know that Aeneas is my number one back and it's going to be dynamic. And I don't know that. I want that. I want to think it's going to be that. But I got to see it first. I have not seen enough from him in the role he's had to totally be able to just bank that I don't even have to think about running back and I know what I got. I am not there. And again, I want to be clear, not saying he can't be that, or I don't want him to, or I'm doubting him, but I got to see it to believe it. So that's where I'm at on that. A couple of these chats, back to the calls. Caden, $10 today. Johnny, I'm going to be honest. The Irish will lose to BYU and Miami. BYU's defense will be good, and Miami will return to the championship. If they're the only 2 games that are a big deal on the schedule, and if Notre Dame goes 10-2 this year, they're definitely not making a damn playoff. Like, if 10-2 wasn't good enough with last year's schedule, I have a hard time believing 10-2 is this time. Nightmare. That would mean just a total nightmare. Total nightmare. Domer fan, $5 holler. On all this preseason hype for the Irish, it's rat poison. Just want us to play and ignore all the hype. Unfortunately, I got a show to run from here until August. You're going to have to deal with it. Paul Meyer trying to get me to relax. Steven, one day closer to Wisconsin. God help them. Man, I want Notre Dame to unleash a can on them boys. $5 from Caden. Let's be honest. If the defense doesn't step up the season, the offense doing all the work. Caden, I think that's like $15 from you today, even after I was mean to you. Unbelievable. I give you a lot of credit for hanging in there, man. A lot of credit for hanging in there. Eric, let's try it again. What's up, man? Good morning.
Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I got you. We're good to go.
Man, what's going on, John, man? You all the way from Toledo. It's been a minute, my boy.
It's been a minute. Man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of Notre Dame people stuck in Ohio, man. You're not alone. There's a lot of us.
Hey, man, I ain't called you in a while. I'm still pissed off from not being selected to the playoffs, bro. So
good. That's healthy.
And I'm feeling like Freeman might have messed up with that Chris Ash hire. I think that's why Mickens left, and I think that's why Al Washington left. That's just my theory.
Ooh, interesting.
And I just feel like the NFL is trying to tear Notre Dame down by trying to take Marcus Freeman. The NFL needs a fresh face anyway. Out with the old, in with the new. So they trying to get Marcus Freeman to come to the NFL. You know, I really believe that. That's just my conspiracy like theory.
Eric, I'm with you. When all the drama went down with the playoff snub and the pushback when we didn't go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the next narrative, I felt like all these outlets were pushing the Freeman to NFL rumor so hard, and it wasn't genuine. They wanted it to happen because they were like, Notre Dame's down. If we could get this to be a reality, they're out. Total rebuild, lose your good coach. They were willing it to happen to be the final nail in Notre Dame's coffin. They wanted it. Yes. Every day they do another article and push the reality of it a little further out there. They wanted it. They wanted it. And not for genuine reasons. Final nail in Notre Dame's coffin stuff.
Yeah, I felt that way, but I'm glad you have your show, John, because mainstream media will not be able to talk about stuff like this. But I really feel like the NFL was coming to tear Notre Dame down, and they knew damn well Notre Dame should have been in them playoffs, period. Like, period. It was all about money. Notre Dame was about to capitalize on more money and not having to share it with anybody. They said, oh, hell no, we got to put Miami in. Thank God Miami beat Notre Dame back in, August? Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous, bro. Like, I don't know. I just got so much to say. Because I ain't talked to you in a minute, man, but yeah, I'm a little pissed off about what's going on with Notre Dame, even though we're still in a good spot. We have the talent there. As long as you got the talent there, everything else should be okay. Yeah. But all of these moving parts and stuff going on, it's something going on in the background that don't sit well with me. I don't know what, can't put a finger on it. But I love my team. I love my squad. We are one of the most talented teams in the nation. So I'm with the rat poison though, because they just want to see us fall anyway. It don't matter where they put us, 1, 2, 3. They want to see us fall anyway, and they want to see Marcus Freeman fall flat on his face. But guess what? They're going to talk about Notre Dame, and they're still going to want Marcus Freeman next year for the NFL. So they're going to talk shit about Notre Dame and say, hey, Marcus Freeman, you still can come here, buddy. Like, even if we don't win the national championship next year, they're still going to come for Marcus Freeman. So it doesn't really matter. They hate Notre Dame. Period.
Yep.
They hate Notre Dame. They love Marcus Freeman, but hate Notre Dame. So make that make sense.
Yep. You're exactly right. But I felt like liberties were taken with the Freeman to NFL rumors intentionally just to will it into existence because we were down and they wanted us out. But now he's back. You got a reasonable schedule next year, man. This is you 10-2 with this schedule would feel like 6-6. It cannot be, man. You can't.
One game.
You can't.
We can only lose one game, John. That's all I'm taking. And it better be the damn Miami game, if that.
Yeah. You're right.
I don't even want that shit. We need to go 12-0, get the number 1 seed, and shut all these efforts up.
Yep.
And just start whooping ass in the playoffs. It's not our fault these programs suck. It's not our fault. They really get mad at Notre Dame because these programs suck. Big Ten only got 3 or 4 good teams. SEC only got 2 or 3 that are really legit. Well, I don't even know if they legit. It's just ridiculous. Texas Tech, you know what? I wish we could have played Texas Tech in the playoff. That's
oil money, baby. Oil. You got that oil shoots out of your backyard. Next thing you know, you got a roster full of dudes, man. Hey, how do I get one of those in Illinois? I want to go in the backyard and there goes a bunch of money up in the air out of the ground.
Hey, John, I ain't gonna hold you, but out of all the teams, I ain't gonna hold you long. Out of all the teams, out of all the politicking everybody was doing, Texas Tech was the one that got under my skin the most. Because I'm like, hold the hell up. You crawled from up under a rock to relevancy in 6 months, and you had the nerve to talk about Notre Dame?
Yep.
I said, if you don't go back under that rock that you crawled from, just like, come on, man. It's like cleaning a bum up. It's like a bum on the street. You give him a whole bunch of money. You give him a mansion. And now he's cleaning, talking shit about everybody. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I know. It rubbed me the wrong way, too. And their coach was up there running his mouth about Notre Dame. And bro, you're about to do something your school could have never dreamed of. And he's up there spending time talking crap about Notre Dame instead of celebrating his team.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I don't care if the guy had an Irish last name or not.
Hey, John, I just wanted to call in, man, say go Irish, man. Shout out to everybody. I need Pat from West Palm because usually I'm at work and I'm on my earbuds. He has me rolling every time. My stomach be hurting. Hey, this Pat from West Palm. He just have my stomach hurting with his introduction. Yeah. And Renee, shout out to Renee. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to what's the other guy, the other Mexican guy? I forgot his name. But y'all keep me going, man. I love this show. I love Pat. Love Pat. Pat comes with smoke. I love the community, man. I'm gonna try to get there for the tailgate for the spring game.
Yeah.
If they have one, then yeah.
Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, I like this. You got a little bit of an edge when you're coming in here. You need to join more, man. You need to take a break from work and log in more and get on the air. Tell your boss you got an important meeting or something. I like this. Notre
Dame, my number 1 team. Don't none of my other teams. I give a damn about the 49ers, Chicago Bulls, North Carolina Tar Heel basketball. As you can see, I picked all my teams when they were winners. So I picked Notre Dame when I was 88, 89. I was 8 years old in 88. So, but I never left my teams. So I've been through a lot of BS with Notre Dame, and I've stuck through it all. So, go Irish. We at the top of the mountain right now, and everybody hate us right now. So I just want to say go Irish, and we gonna be all right. And let's just try to bring this thing home, man. We need to bring this thing home.
I like it, Eric.
We got a 3-year window. We need to bring it home, y'all. And shout out to you, John, and always Irish, man. I love y'all, man.
Hey, thanks so much, Eric. Join again, man. People the chat really liked your energy and everything. Log in and do it whenever you can, man. We like you.
I got you, bro.
Have a good one. Peace out. Eric, that was good, man. A little edge to him. I like that call. I like that call a lot. And I like getting some new people in the mix, by the way, too. Yeah, that was good, man. I like that little energy. Here, Commander, check this out. Miami deserved to be in. you could argue when you got to the end of the year that you could argue Notre Dame and Miami deserve to be in. I have a bigger problem with Alabama and even Oklahoma than I do Miami. And at least Miami beat us. You know what I got a problem with? You could argue Alabama shouldn't have made the field because of how they ended the year. You could argue Alabama shouldn't have made the field. Then they get smoked in the playoff, and then they're still ranked ahead of Notre Dame in the final rankings. I don't understand, and I don't like it. Brandon, what's up? Good morning.
John, how's it going, sir?
Oh, it's going good, man. A lot of good energy here, man. I missed Monday. I felt bad about it. We got some energy today, and I dig it. Yeah,
that's good stuff, baby. Hey, and I hope your family's doing better. Hey, on the question regarding the defensive hires, I'm not a football X's and O's person, so I don't feel qualified to judge. Outside of kind of the pedigree seems like what it's supposed to be. We're not getting brand new guys off the street, and we're not taking folks from lesser than programs. So I think Coach Freeman has certainly earned our trust and who he's going to hire. And then there's no, the results will prove themselves out over the course of the season, but no issues at all with who we're getting. And overall, I mean, the guys who do seem like they know X's and O's, say in a lot of ways it could be an upgrade. So I'm feeling confident with that.
Yeah, man, there's a lot to like on the resumes here. It's just a matter of it all coming together.
Yep. Hey, I will also applaud you, John, in the diplomatic way. And, not necessarily this is my place to put it out, but I do think we owe John as the audience. There aren't a whole lot of spaces in the world now where we can, cordon off, hey, this is only going to be about football and only going to be about Notre Dame and kind of any ancillary topics to that. They're incredibly important. And, I probably will agree with most of the audience and their feelings towards, kind of tangential aspects of Notre Dame, if you'd put it like that. But, I think it's important that we keep always Irish, only about football or kind of stuff directly tied to the program and let the other stuff be the other stuff.
I tried to. I learned very, very early on, there's no wading into any other waters. There's no winning from like a business brand perspective. No matter where you go, you're going to piss off half the people. It's just a bad business move. So I'd rather just yell about football.
Yep. And I don't know if it was on here, but other places I've heard is, Michael Jordan knows everyone buys shoes. Yeah. And so, one side or the other. And this will be a plug. There's a parking lot section of the Patreon chat where you can put all your crazy stuff or your, super pumped up stuff that doesn't directly tie to Notre Dame or whatever. That is, honestly, it's pretty funny to look in there half the time. So there's good stuff there.
Yeah, that's the good spot for if you really need to unleash something. There's a reason it's the parking lot. Anything goes. You can rumble over there.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, John. So this, kind of an off-season question. What is your day, if you have a normal day, what does that look like? Like, I know you got family stuff going on, but do you do any show prep? Do you just literally have deep Irish thoughts in your head and you let it rip on the show? Do you look at these 16 websites before you go on air? What does that look like? I know you got your writing stuff going on too. You do that first thing in the morning? Do you do it late at night? What's that kind of look like, behind the scenes, brief overview of John Kennedy?
Really interesting question. In the season, everything is very structured because the weeks move so fast from one game to the next. So what I usually do is you got to work a day ahead. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like if you're going to have a show on a Wednesday, you got to do the prep work on a Tuesday for the show Wednesday. If I'm releasing a video Thursday, I usually record it Wednesday. That you're always kind of a day ahead of what's coming next to keep it all straight. A lot of the writing is first thing in the morning. I put my kid on the bus at 7:15 in the morning and I write an article and then do this show. Usually one article in the morning, sometimes one late at night. So that's kind of the flow. In the off season, there's a little more flexibility to be able to, because you're just not as time constrained. And then, Brendan, the other thing I do is I always just have notepads sitting around the house, and I'm a big list guy. Whenever I have an idea, I just write it on the notepad, carry it around. Write another idea. This tweet triggered something in my brain. I write it down. I'll forget it if I don't write them down. So I have all these loose pieces of notes, and then those become topic ideas for YouTube or an article. So if I don't write them down, I'll forget it. And I don't even like putting it in my phone. Writing it works for me in my brain. So I have a lot of just sheets of paper and notes with ideas those turn into articles and videos with more research.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I appreciate that, John. It's interesting to hear. And you mentioned it earlier. I really did think the Raw from last night was one of the better ones that we've done overall. And really, it's a lot of the, hearing the captain and yourself kind of talk about, like you all as people. Because I mean, I guess, I would just offer up, right? There's a lot of places where we can hear about Notre Dame football and fans thinking this thing's a bad decision or a great decision or this, that, and the other thing. But I think a kind of a critical aspect of the community that you're building is, you and Goolsby and now Coach Hyde and whoever, looking forward to see some of the other guys joining the team. That's some really cool stuff. So, I really appreciate it. I would encourage other folks to take a look at that.
Man, I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot, man. That community is really pretty special that we're building over there. And it's just all bound by our love for Notre Dame. No matter what cut of life you're from or Notre Dame grad or anything else, we're all bound by that same love, and it keeps us going.
Yep, really good stuff. So last kind of optimistic note I will leave you with. It is really neat to see, kind of going across the Twitter threads. We've got we got 5 of the 5 stars right in the most recent recruiting class. And then it's compared to some of the conferences that we got more than I think all the Big 12 and ACC combined or something crazy. I don't know if it's necessarily realistic that we're going to get a quarter or a fifth of the 5 stars every year. But if you start extrapolating, you do that 2 or 3 more times, and those guys stick around, you're talking dang Alabama midst of the Saban era level of talent where you got, 15, 20 5-star guys. If you can keep those folks around for 3-4 years without bolting off other places of the NFL.
I believe I read with the portal class and the recruiting, Notre Dame would have 9 at least former at some point 5-star guys on their roster. Bro, That would take Brian Kelly 10 years to get 9 5-star guys on a roster combined. Yep. Are you serious? I never thought that I would see the day that Notre Dame was being talked about as having that level of elite talent. It's impressive. Now you got to go win with it. Elitely win with it. Get it over the hump. Win that.
You got to win. Here we go, baby. Looking forward to it. All right, John, all the bets are trying to help support the show, and go Irish.
Brendan, you're great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Man, just you guys are nice to me. The hell did I do to deserve all these nice people? $6 holler MSA&D. John, you got a great group of guys bringing energy to the show. Your ND fans are the added bonus to the culture. Appreciate the vibe. Thanks a lot, man. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Adam, what's up, buddy? Good morning.
Good morning, John. How are we, buddy?
I'm doing it. How much time you got, buddy? I'm doing fine. The way you said it reminded me of how much time you got. I'm doing good, man. I just want to know what you guys think of where we're sitting right now. Let me know.
I feel good. I feel good because of the fact that it's the beginning of February. And we have a lot of coaches that have left and we have them already replaced. We're already set. And, again, that goes back to being able to get the level of continuity and the rhythm with everybody together. And I think this is a prime move, because of the fact of all the reasons why you were talking about on your videos that you set. These are not even lateral moves in some cases. These are really kind of more, I would say, promotional, positional moves. Like these are something where people are looking at themselves going, I might have to take less of a responsibility in some aspects coming over to Notre Dame, but at the same time, I'm going to Notre Dame. And when we talk about Notre Dame or certain schools being a pipeline to the NFL for the actual athletes, it's really a pipeline to the NFL now for the coaches. I mean, we're showing that, we're proving it. So, go for it.
I wrote about this the other day too. Do you think there's any part of this, like it's going to become more common for college guys to go to the NFL just because they don't want to deal with the lifestyle anymore, the college and the recruiting and the NIL and the portal and all the games? It's a different lifestyle in the NFL. Yeah. Do you think that's a part of some people's desire to get into the league now? I don't know. I'm just asking if you think that could be a piece of it.
I most certainly do. I think there are many different reasons why people are going to move one way or the other. Everybody's going to have their own individual whys as to the reason why they go to the NFL or why they stay in college. But the reality is that when you look at it, the amount of coaches that are moving to the NFL from college, there is a singular component that is repetitive. And it's just there every single time. And it's the fact that they don't have to deal with the chaos that college football has created over the last couple of years with the NIL, with the agents, with the fact that these are younger kids. You got to remember, you're talking, anywhere between 17 to 23 or 4 years old. So they're a lot younger, and there's going to be a lot more, I don't know, spontaneity or just anxiousness around it, or maybe they made a bad decision. There's not a lot of thought because they haven't matured through it. They haven't been through this business yet, as opposed to graduating from college and then going to the NFL and then dealing with it with your agent.
And the as far as like the calendar lifestyle, there is a week and a half, 2-week window in June that I think the Notre Dame staff can go on vacation with their families, actually unplug and get away a little bit. It's like a 2-week window in June. Other than that, it is nonstop work, nonstop worry, nonstop stress every single day because the calendar never ends. It's either the season or recruiting season or portal season or the playoff. There's never a lull. There's always something. And I just wonder if some of these guys are like, I want to go where you buy the groceries and let me cook them.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we were speaking about last week. Because, I mean, when you look at it, it used to be, okay, I just have to deal with recruiting, but just having to deal with recruiting was a year-round nonstop process. Now you're adding in the NIL. Now you're adding in the transfer portal, different time periods and all these different things. And it's like, oh, you didn't jump on this player, you didn't talk to him, or you waited the weekend like we were talking about before with some of these guys. It's like, there's not a moment to breathe. The NFL is the top tier in college, the top tier in football. And so not only is it the top tier and where all the elites go, but it's also in some ways a less of a responsibility or a magnitude of responsibility of different factors that you have to deal with on a year-round basis. So I think it's absolutely one of the components that has these guys going, why wouldn't I want to go to the next level, possibly get paid more, and at the same time not have to deal with the year-round rhetoric that is, that is all consuming in college football.
Yeah. The other thing is, who was it? I think it was Mike Frank on his show. He was saying that like the NFL is starting to get sick of the recycled 55-year-old coordinators that just changed 7 different teams in 10 years and they had to recycle them.
Yeah.
And they are really open now in a new way to some younger energy coming out of college and giving those guys a shot. They're starting to get sick of that carousel of the same 50-year-old guys that keep getting hired and recycled. Like they're open to some new ideas, new energy, younger guys. I just wonder if that's where some of this is headed because the college game is so damn chaotic.
It absolutely is. And not to mention, when you look at and you think about who is that person, that ideal person coming out of college that checks all those boxes, and it's Marcus Freeman. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I'm not saying that because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I'm not saying that because of the fact that the second that he was introduced in that locker room as the head coach and the place went crazy, that the hair stood on the back of my neck and I was so fired up with goosebumps and I was like, let's go. I'm not saying it because of that. I'm saying it because it's true. Because any one of those NFL teams would sit there and say, this guy is energetic. He's younger. He can relate to the players. He was a player. He played on all different levels. He's been coaching effectively and successfully. He has produced not only NFL players and NFL talent, but he's produced on the field, but he's also produced it in the coaching staff. I mean, what else do you want? The guy is a standout human being. He's a top-notch family person. I mean, come on. It's checking every single box. So shout out to Eric, who was speaking before me. He was talking about what was it that the NFL was looking at Marcus Freeman and that he like something about like how he's the guy that they want and that it's true. There's no conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy, Eric. You're dead on, buddy. Like they want the fresh face. They are done with he was a coordinator here, then he became a coach, then he was fired, and then 2 years later he was a coordinator again, and now he's another head coach. They're done with it. They want the fresh faces. They want those people to come in and, revolutionize the NFL and rejuvenate it, especially some of these franchises that have been laid to waste. So from a Notre Dame standpoint, that just means, hey, we have got to do whatever it is we can with the people while we have them. And I remember, John, oh my God, I remember you speaking about if we did not make the playoffs, this is on us. And I love that because it was that ownership that we had to take for losing those 2 games. But it was also one of those things where it was like, hey, we need to understand that this is a learning moment. We lost our opportunity to watch Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price and Malachi Fields and this whole entire team and the way they were gelling in the playoffs. We lost that opportunity. We will never be able to see that. So now, learning from that and moving on, are we going to make sure that we don't do that again, where we don't put ourselves in a position where these yahoos, wherever they are, can sit there and say, yeah, you know what, Toledo, Ohio, I think they should be in the college football playoff. Notre Dame, I'm sorry. I know you lost that one game, but your schedule wasn't strong enough and Toledo was undefeated and you're 11-1, but you're out. We can't give them any reason. Leave no doubt. Because we do not want to lose the opportunity with someone like CJ Carr and all these different weapons that we're bringing in through the portal, through the recruiting, through what we've homegrown. We do not want to lose this opportunity. So take advantage of it now.
Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. I'm with you, man. Anything else, Adam? Thanks for joining. Thanks for waiting today.
Oh, of course, buddy. No, I just got off shift, so I'm going to go on a hike and enjoy the sunny weather out here. While I can enjoy it, and then
way to rub it in. To rub it in. And, take a gentle walk and let the sun rays hit you. I don't know what that's like.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe what the rest of the country's going through. And I will say it's a total joke what happens in California, where there's a little bit of a rain and everybody freaks out. I'm like, are you guys watching the rest of the country? Like they're dealing with ice and snow and sub-freezing temperatures. I'm like, that's the real deal. So. It's just take advantage of what you got, man, and then just live every day. That's what it's all about, Johnny. I love you, and I'll talk to you on Friday.
Have a good one, man. Thanks as always. Enjoy that walk, brother. Terrence, what's going on?
Man, what's going on, Johnny, man?
Hey, you tell me. You've been hearing what people are thinking and what I'm saying. Where's your mind at in this offseason? We got a long time till Wisconsin kickoff, bro.
Man, and I can't wait till we get there, man. Like I say, man, we survive. The only thing with Marcus Freeman, man, is can we survive September, man? If we can survive September, man, we'll be pretty okay, man. I think we can get through, man.
Where'd you go?
Can you hear me, John?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. Yes, only if we can. My thing is, man, it's time to show us. The last time we spoke, man, we still had Mike Mickens, man. Good riddance to Al Washington, man, But Mike Mickens was but we replaced him, man. Only thing we can do is just trust the replacement and hopefully we get through. Our thing is with Mike Mickens and without Mike Mickens, we still haven't survived September yet.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. If ever there was a September you should survive, it should be the one upcoming. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, we better, man. No, I'm on the bandwagon, man. I might run Freeman out of town, man. I might kidnap him.
You just can't. You can't drop any of those. You need a 0-loss record by the time you get to BYU. And that's not even up for debate. You need to win all the games till you go to that trip to Provo. That is not even up for debate. It's an absolute requirement if you want to make the playoff.
And man, and look at the 2 games that BYU lost last year, man. They were slower than both of those teams. I mean, they were slower than Texas Tech. Both games that they played them, man, they looked really, really slow. And Notre Dame, man, they're really, really fast. So, I don't think that game might not. I think If we can get through September, we just need to get to the Miami game, man, undefeated.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And listen, man, 10-2 with that schedule last year wasn't good enough to get you in. 10-2 ain't going to get you in this time.
Man,
you better go
11-1
or 12-0.
10-2 might get Marcus Freeman canned, man. You can't go 10-2 against this schedule. You can't go 11-1 against this schedule, to be honest with you, man. You got to almost be undefeated.
Yeah. Hey, ooh. Yeah, I mean, and if you are, then you're looking at maybe one of those buys, and then you got to have that whole thing of, is it a benefit to go on the buy or not? And do you want that week off and that whole charade?
I would rather have the home game, man, during the playoffs, man. But hey, man, well, let's see where it go, man. This team is, I think they like right behind Ohio State as far as the favorites to win the national championship. And I wanted to say to somebody in the chat, man. I think the guy named Commander. Nobody outside of the football season cares about Alabama. Alabama is not a bigger brand than Notre Dame. We get talked about 3 to 4 times a month on ESPN. Besides football season, nobody talks about Alabama football.
Yeah, it's Notre Dame is one of those brands, man, and they're probably going to be ranked preseason in the top 5, and it's going to be a talking point all August, ramping up to the season.
And man, I'm just saying, man, like ESPN, they would have never, even if SEC wasn't on ESPN, they would have never went on a month-long rant to keep Alabama out the playoffs like they did Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the focus of ESPN, man. I don't think it's the NFL trying to turn Notre Dame down. I think it's ESPN trying to turn Notre Dame down, and they can't do it. It's the biggest brand in college football. It's the most recognizable brand in college football.
Yeah, yep, it's true, man. It's we're always in the spotlight.
Man, man. If we can get through September and October, man, and get to that Miami game on November 7th, undefeated at home. And I got a question, man. I asked it in the chat, man. When was the last time Miami won a game in South Bend?
Yeah, that's a good question. They came in 16 and Notre Dame beat them. I believe, am I wrong? Didn't Notre Dame beat, even in that terrible season we had, I'm pretty sure we beat Miami that year at home.
Yeah, I know one year when Kelly was the coach, I know they beat them in Chicago. They had a game. I want to say it was
Soldier Field, 2012 Soldier Field, and Al Golden was Miami's coach. Yeah. And we beat their brains out too.
Yeah, so they just like we don't win in like we don't win in Hard Rock, they don't win in South Bend.
Yeah. Yep. And I want it to be cold too, by the way.
Man, I hope it'd be freezing. I hope it'd be snow on the ground. So it's something they've never seen before.
Me too. I'm all for it. But you got to position yourself to be in a good spot entering that game. That's a big deal. So you got to get off to a good start, man.
And I was listening to the guy from CBS. He said, man, he believed that Notre Dame going to be the number 1 seed and going to go undefeated. But let's see, man. We got to get through September, man. I mean, I'm one of the ones that always say Notre Dame going to go undefeated, no matter what their team look like. But we got to get through September, man. September been rough for us in these 4 years of Freeman.
Before we got to get through September, we got to get through all these months to get to September, man. This is going to be a long ride. This is a long journey.
Man, I can't wait to the Wisconsin game, man. I hope they beat Wisconsin 100-0.
Yeah.
Just to show them.
Man, I hope so. I really, really hope so, man. Anything else? Any thoughts on these defensive hires? Give it to me. What do you think of the linebacker guy, the secondary guy?
We'll see, man. The linebacker guy, we'll see, but we really have to just sit back and pay attention to the defensive back guy, man. Maybe, they trying to say that, oh, yeah, he aggressive like Mickens is. Let's see, man. I mean, I just hope that he ain't just he was a hire for Ash and just, hey, he do what I say do, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that, man. If we see that, man, I'm pissed off with Freeman, man.
Well, we'll see. This is going to be a big year. You got to get it right. You got to get off to a good start. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for touching base.
That was it, man.
Hey, have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Take care, man. Have a good one. AC Slater, what's going on, AC?
Am I in?
Yo.
Hey.
Hey.
Am I in?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to do a simple, quick little rant about the people. About the people hating on ND's schedule and how weak it looks or whatever. But have you seen Miami's schedule and compared them to both side to side?
Hey, thank God we each have each other on the damn schedule, right?
No.
They're both really weak. If you don't like Notre Dame's, look at Miami's. We're the only team with any pulse at all on the whole slate.
No joke. Like, everybody, especially Cam Newton, I hate his whole take about how ND's got people bound to them or whatever. If that was the truth, the committee wouldn't boot them out from the playoff last year. I mean,
Yeah,
so
it's there are some really weak conference schedules, but they don't get questioned the way Notre Dame does because of independence. That's my thought.
Yeah, and then like it all comes down to each other. Miami has to win against Notre Dame, and Notre Dame has to win against Miami, and that's the plan. You know, for next season, that's gonna be the biggest game of their schedule, and we'll see how it goes.
If we're being honest, Notre Dame and Miami should both be undefeated with game day there, with that game being the biggest thing of the year. If we're being real, they should both be undefeated into early November, and this should be like a huge deal.
Oh yeah, I can see them being top three, either one or two or three, something like that, and then winner goes to the playoffs. How about that?
Yeah, it's and again, I don't think 10-2. That ain't gonna work again.
No.
10-2 is not gonna work.
No. So, all right, that's all I wanted to say. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, AC. Join again. Thanks for bumping in.
Will do.
See ya. Dude, that reminded me. Did anybody, when you were in grade school, did they make you go in a room where they put on headphones and they tested your hearing and they would make little beeps and noises and you had to like say which ear the noise was coming out? Did anybody not hear that loud beep? Am I the only one? Nobody else heard that loud beep? Am I crazy? I know I'm crazy, but for that reason? Oh, God. All right, you guys, I got to get out of here. Renee, you've been listening, and I didn't know if you wanted to jump on or just listen today. I got to get going, but I know you're on always to listen. And I'm sorry I didn't get you. You're telling me some of you guys did not hear that beep? That loud backing up truck beep noise. Am I losing my mind? I know that happened. Sly backed me up. There was a loud beep. I know I'm not crazy. You guys are awesome. Catfish, Renee, 559 on the line. You guys were popping in and out. I'm sorry I didn't get it. I always like to have try and get some newer people on if they're available, but I love the loyal people that are regulars. I try and blend it. I love you guys. Middle of no time, and we have all this energy in this show, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. There ain't nothing going on really, and the chat was popping. A lot of people wanted to interact. I absolutely love this community. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you. Have a good day now.